Morgan. You might remember that I previously did like a clip-on bang try-on haul. Well, I ended up taking all 3 pairs of those bangs, and I believe they were originally from an eBay seller called AIKEA-8. But I ended up taking all of those and styling them, like doing something completely different with them. And first of all, this one I think is, I think this was the one that was like a combination of like dark brown and black, but it was really, really poofy on me and made me think kind of like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo or something old, like some old like 60s or 70s hairstyle. And what I ended up doing with that is I decided to just do all the way around like one length, like bangs, like I decided to make it like all one length. So this, it kind of, so I was inspired by like, let's make this look like, I don't know, like old men's hairstyles. And I was like, I'm gonna make this into this style, like just for funsies. It might, like, I don't quite know how that would look like blended into my natural hair. I might have to take like sections from here and pull them over the front to blend that. But I just thought this was fun to like experiment with cutting like bangs on like a straight shape. And I used this magical tool called a steamer to help like straighten it out while I was working on it. And I was like, you know what, this is a fun style. Like I decided to do something different and creative with these bangs. So I made them like all one length apart, like very retro, like, it's the word like bowl cut or like some like geeky old men's hair, like geeky men's hairstyle from like olden times. So yeah, that's the vibe I went for with this. And this is what it looks like from like the top and the front and the sides. And it kind of reminds me of some of those like more modern styles with the really straight hair, straight across bangs, where like sometimes like women will like dye their hair bright colors and like have parts of the head shaved, but then like creative stuff with the bangs. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this too. But I thought this was very fun. Although, pro tip, or like cutting like synthetic bangs, it gets fibers like all over. This was not fun to clean up. And then second of all, this was the one that was like the light, like I think it was like a light brown and something like a blonde mix, or some brown and blonde mix, and it ended up putting it in like curlers and steaming it there and letting it dry. And I'm gonna take those out to see like if this gives it like a different shape so it doesn't get in my eyes as much. And I'm interested to see how this turns out. Like, oh, it looks kind of like vintage or like retro. Let me move over to this side. I don't want to like block the camera. And these curlers are currently, like, I'm borrowing them from my sister at present. Oh, this gives some very like floofy hair. I'm trying to think what the aesthetic of it makes me think of right now, but it kind of makes me think of something that like maybe like a grandma who's trying to look trendy would wear. I don't know, like it's very, the way that it is, like I'm trying to decide, like is this one where, do I have a comb here? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna try and comb it into itself. Oh, this gives a little bit more of a natural floofy. Yeah, this makes me think more like 60s now, like with the really floofy upwards, and like it makes me think more of like something from like the 60s or like, I don't know, the Jetsons, that vibe. So I'm happy with this, like how this turned out, because it's like, okay, this is still something different. This is not going to be in my eyes as much as when I originally tried on these bangs. Oh, and I am keeping them on the dress form, the styrofoam head with just like sewing pins right now. And these I think are left over from when I used to do a lot of cosplay and stuff. And then this, I'm trying to do like tight Regency curls with this. So I tried to do like pin curls, and this has a hat on right now, which I'm gonna take off a bit. And I'm gonna just slowly start undoing. Oh, this actually turned out. So what I did with this one was such a pain to figure out like how I was gonna get the look that I wanted. And what I eventually settled on was doing tiny little like pinning them up into like pin curls, except when it was dry, and then steaming it with the steamer and letting it cool. And I think this is finally gonna give me like tighter, like Regency, like Greco-Roman inspired, like tiny little curls. I hope. It's turning out like it's kind of like staying on itself a little bit too much. But that's better. It was coming out very, very loose originally. If I need, I guess I can technically like take the steamer again to reshape it and make it like not quite this much like this. Yeah, I was trying to get like tiny tight little curls here, and I'm not entirely sure if it's turning out quite like how I want it to, but this is still a tighter curl than any of the other things I tried before. So this is turning out a lot more like what I was hoping. Okay, well the sides look pretty nice. Okay, this definitely has a lot of fluff. I'm just like combing it with my fingers and trying to see what I can do with this, and well, you know what? This has a Titus a la reine vibe. That's what I'll go with. I'll just say this is a Titus a la reine inspired style with the really short sections. Let's see how this looks with, sorry, that dropped, with this on top, because this is how I was intending to wear it. Oh, this looks nice. This, you know what, this is for a piece set in 1805 about like, well, I personally styled this because this in particular, this prompted me to go ahead and style all the clip-in bangs because I wanted to style this one for a, in the near future, I have a project coming up where I'm going to be reading a poem that a friend wrote that is set in 1805, and for that I was looking for like some really short like Regency curls around the front, and my chin length bangs are a little bit long for that now, so it's like I'm gonna try and use these, and I like how it turned out. Like it looks very messy, like it reminds me of some of the like some Roman styles that I've seen on like statues and stuff where they have the really built up curls up top. And so I I feel like this works well for that, as well as like in the early 1800s, like especially in France, like there was definitely like a lot more influence in fashion from, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I can think of like the Titus a la reine style was like a very patriotic style meant to mimic like chopped off guillotined heads or something, like quite gruesome. But I was like, okay, since I'm doing something that I guess technically is set like in a French type setting, that like the really short curls with like a mob cap on top, this might be a little bit like this might be like, I don't know, like a little bit later than that time-wise, but I was like, this is going to give the vibe that I'm looking for. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm interested to see how this will look on me, but I also don't want to like destroy the floofy type curls before like I'm ready to do this. But you know what? Okay, I might try it on. First of all, I have to take off these pins here. This one, I used a lot more pins to place it in place with. I used 5 on this one. The other ones I used 3. Okay. Oh well, this looks a lot shorter than before. Like, this is definitely an improvement. I don't have like a hair tie down here. Do I? Oh, actually I do. I'm gonna be right back. I have one of these ones, so I'm gonna like yank all of my hair back here. Okay. And then I have like some pins here, so I'm gonna like pin, like haphazardly, like just pin sections back right now to do like a test of how this looks, because this is one that I'm planning to use for a project. Okay, it's gonna be covered with a hat anyways, so then I push this up and oh, this looks kind of cute. I'm liking this. Then maybe worn like this. It might almost need to be worn lower on my head because this looks like, I'm not sure like if I quite like it looks like, I like the framing there, and because I have the hat, it doesn't, the fact that it's a little bit different than my actual hair color doesn't clash so much. But yeah, oh, this turned out quite well, I think. This looks very, it makes me feel like something very vintage, like something like an old lady might have worn when she was young and fashionable. I don't know, like that's the vibe I'm getting here. Oh wow, this looks very, like my hair is naturally quite straight, so I'm not used to seeing like this type of style on me, but this was a lot of fun. But yeah, this whole like process of like styling the bangs took quite some time because I basically had to remember how to style wigs from when I did cosplay, and that's because these are synthetic, like the steamer works better on them, or at least that's what I found, compared to like actual normal hot tools and stuff. But yeah, thank you for like watching me and looking at me doing like these bangs and stuff. Maybe I'm gonna try these other ones on too, like so that way you can see what they look like on me. I was like, you know, this will be like a fun project. And then I wanted to see about here. Oh my gosh, I look very oh my gosh, I feel like, okay, there was like this pin on Pinterest a long time ago of like I guess like a hack for how to like cut bangs to make them look straight. And it was like an ad for like Scotch tape from like 50 years ago or something. And it was like a mom doing it on her little kid, and it's like, this is what this looks like. It's really quite unique. Like this is very unique. It makes me think of like a vintage like little girl style, but the ones that it's like, it doesn't look very good in retrospect. It's very, okay, this is still, I still feel like this was like I got a lot out of this particular pair of clip-on bangs in terms of like, well, this is fun at least. Like, at least I did something with this purchase. Like, this is something that's a lot of fun. Like, I feel like if I was gonna style this, I'd do like some like vintage ponytail or something with it. Oh my gosh. But at least like I did something with this, so it isn't in my eyes anymore. And finally, this is the third. Oh, no, come here. You have, okay, that's where this particular one went. Okay, and then I'm gonna try on this particular pair next. Okay. I want this to end about here, so that means that I pin it about here-ish. Okay, no, this is a bit too high on me. Let's pin this lower, more like this. Oh! I feel like kind of like an old lady like this. I don't know, like, or what's the vibe? Like yeah, it makes me think of like I don't know, like the Jetsons or some of those like media that is meant to look like 60s style futuristic is the vibe that I'm getting with this. Or I don't know, it looks like it's the bright like two colors at once with some floof, like floosh, which I guess makes sense because the rollers I was using are ones that are more like the type of roller that would have been used in that era. Like I don't think people I don't think of this type of roller as being as popular to use anymore as compared to like other hairstyling tools. So yeah, this was, oh my gosh, I look very different from how I normally look. Where did I put this so I can see it without like with a hat on top? Oh, now I feel like, what's the word? Like, I don't know, someone carrying a tin, like a tray of cookies, like a cookie sheet, like, do I feel like Mrs. Claus? Is that the vibe I'm getting here? Like, I don't know. This is a very different look than anything that I'd normally wear. But yeah, thank you for watching me do this video of like styling clip-in bangs and like seeing all the new creative ways that I use these. And then I'm gonna try and put you. Well, I'll just I'll put those away later. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video and found this fun, and I hope that you have a great day.